What it do? Yo man, listen. Today, I want to talk about Overwatch and Tacticus. Let's get right into the video. First things first, let's establish what Overwatch is. Overwatch is a trait that some characters have, which reads, if this unit has not attacked during its turn, nor after that, it attacks when an enemy moves within range during the enemy's turn. So, essentially, Calandus, for example, is a character that has the Overwatch trait. If Calandus does not attack during my turn, I put her in an advantageous spot, and then I pass my turn. She starts Overwatching. If an enemy unit comes within her attack range, she will automatically attack the first enemy that comes, and she will stop Overwatching. You can tell a unit is Overwatching by the green eye that is standing over their model and a radio signal type animation coming from their head. What this means is that that unit is Overwatching and they will attack the first enemy unit that enters their range, the threat range. Now, there are a few notable characters. These characters are Calandus, Revas, and Sarkwell. Aside from these few characters, there are others who Overwatch. However, I have chosen to pick these three because I think they are the most notable ones in the game, especially Revas. Now, the people who own Revas might be thinking to yourselves, wait, Draupnir, Revas does not have the Overwatch trait. That's true. Revas is an ability, active ability specifically, called Early Warning Override. It has 2 bullet points. The first bullet point is about spawning shield drones, which we will ignore for now. And the second bullet point is actually Overwatching. It reads, Revas also starts Overwatching until the start of her next turn, ignoring close combat weakness trait and dealing additional damage. When defeating a unit while Overwatching, she remains in Overwatch, retaining 1 fewer hit compared to the previous attack. So, what all this jumble of word means, you use the active ability, she starts Overwatching. If an enemy unit comes, she will do lots of damage to that unit. If that unit dies, Revas will continue to Overwatch when another unit comes. However, she will score one less hit into that unit. This might seem like a big nerf. It's not. She has 6 hits, going down to 5 or 4 is not a problem. So, essentially, if you are not careful with how you move your characters, Revas is very capable of clearing out your entire team in tournament arena. Now, this is an image I took. I will talk about it later. First, I will talk about the benefits of Overwatch. So it's pretty good. Overwatch is really strong. First things first is board control. You can project a lot of threat with Overwatch. For example, in this Conquest arena, I have Revas and Calandus Overwatching, and my opponent can't, in good faith, come to these 4 hexes, including the middle objective, because whatever unit they get, no matter how tough they are, they will most likely get obliterated by Calandus and then Revas. And they can't just sacrifice 1 unit because Revas is here, and so if the unit dies, which it most likely will, Revas will be able to overwatch it again and again and again. Now, aside from board control, it's also really good into clearing summons because the summon AI is not very intelligent and they just run into Overwatch. And the last part is if your opponent doesn't know how Overwatch works, it just means an easy win because they will just run all of their characters into your Revas and just instantly lose the game. This actually happened in this video. My opponent ran 4 of their characters into my Revas and they lost the game. Now, I've talked about Overwatch. It's pretty strong, as you can tell, as you can experience, you've seen in the video, whatnot. Now, there are 3 ways to counter Overwatch. The first way is Infiltrate. Infiltrate is a trait that some characters have, such as Jane Czar and one of the Spacewolf characters. It just makes it so they ignore Overwatch, they can't attack. There's a little bit of finesse you can do. There, if you have Calandus projects a big threat range. You just move Jane Czar next to Calandus, and Calandus, because they're in melee, they will not be able to shoot 3 things. So they will only Overwatch if you bring another unit that doesn't have Infiltrate into melee. So it's a good way to shut down their Overwatch. Another character is Sybil from Astra Militarum. Her passive ability says if a friendly unit starts their turn next to Sybil, for that battle round they will have Infiltrate. Now this is really strong for teams that include Ragnar, Anshi, and Karn the Betrayer, because that way you can, on turn 2, Karn and Ragnar, they can move 5 hexes while they have Infiltrate, so they will just go just completely berserk, which is, pun for Karn. It's very strong, and I suggest this is one of the best ways to use it. The second way to do it is Suppression. I chose Thaddeus Noble. There are other characters in the game, such as Volk, such as Taunt, whatnot, who do Suppression. However, the reason I chose Thaddeus Noble is because he actually has 3 movement, unlike Volk, and he actually has 3 range, unlike Taunt. What Suppression does is Suppression is another trait. There's a lot of traits in this video, I'm sorry. When a character with Suppression attacks another character, the character that got attacked has their movement reduced, their damage done reduced, and they can no longer Overwatch for that turn while they have the Suppression on them. This is really strong, especially against Revas, because Revas only has 2 range, whereas Thaddeus Noble has 3 range. So Thaddeus can go to a safe distance, shoot Revas, completely turn off the Overwatch, and your team can do cleanup. Other characters, of course, they can do it. However, Volk is too slow, and other suppressors are just not as good as Thaddeus Noble. Not to mention, Thaddeus Noble's active ability is very strong if you get lucky with the, sequencing. Like, not sequence, but like patterns and whatnot. Now, the last way, I wasn't sure if I wanted to include this. However, for people who have Celestine, it's pretty good to just brute force your way through Overwatch. Now, in Tournament Arena, it's pretty difficult because your characters are on the same level. But, if you have a character that's like Bellator with a lot of armor and the Gravis trait, you can maybe survive some Overwatch. However, the main star is Saint Celestine, where she can just run at enemies, and if she gets Overwatched, it doesn't matter because a Gemini will eat the damage. So she can just run in, eat all the Overwatch, and then the rest of your team can do cleanup. You might be thinking to yourself, but Draupnir, Revas will have technically killed a Gemini. Wouldn't that count as continuing to Overwatch? That's a good question. However, Revas attacked Celestine and Celestine didn't die, so Revas will stop Overwatching. That's the main way. I think Infiltrate is the best way to engage Overwatch. Suppression is cool and all. However, for characters like Calandus and Sarkwell, they have 3 range too. So Thaddeus Noble really struggles, especially if Calandus crits. And that's why I think Infiltrate is the best way to go. The Bloody Roses Discord server, I know viewer retention falls off a cliff and I do this. I'll do it super duper fast. Very nice place. Link in the description. You shall join Draupnir Gang chat. Say Draupnir Gang. It's really funny. Thank you very much for watching my video. I genuinely appreciate you giving me the time, mate. It means a lot to me. Special thanks to Diesel Fox, Papa John, Lethal Lama, and Sar for entering my referral friend code. If you enter it, I get like cool stuff. It's a way to support the channel. Shout out to Flenzer for doing Draupnir, a little thingy on the side of the screen. I don't know, I'm talking too fast. Before I forget, thank you very much for watching my video. Have a good day and stay safe.